Here is a woman who is going up to a pump, a water pump, and getting some water in an African village. And a group called Ewater, which was made by a variety of folks, but people who used to work at the United Nations. And what they were frustrated with is that when NGOs and governments would install water pumps in African countries, what would happen is that about 40% of those pumps would be broken within a year and a half. And then the NGO would be gone, or the government, they couldn't get the government to come back, and so the pumps would be broken for long periods of time, months or more. So now these villages were no better off, and primarily the women would have to then go and hike to a local water source. The UN considers 1 kilometer one way, a little over half a mile, to be accessible. So think about hiking a kilometer, picking up as much water as you can, and then hiking back maybe multiple times. That's what happens when you don't have access to clean water with a pump. So what Ewater did is they put in internet-connected pumps. So as I said, lots of people have cell phones, so there's cell service all over the place. So they were able to connect their pumps to the internet, and then they charged people for using the water, about a penny a day. And the cool thing that does is, as you can see, she's putting up a little key fob that she has to the pump, and it turns on the water. So she's getting charged. Not too much, but enough that she will use the water that she gets. Right? She's not going to waste. She's going to find a way to conserve that. And it also creates a revenue stream, so that when that pump is broken, they have money to fix it. And when that pump breaks, if it's not fixed, somebody's losing money. So the percentage of the time it takes to repair the pumps went from months down to a day. Ewater has a live dashboard that you can go to. And just this week, they crossed 1 billion liters of water delivered. And you can see that almost 360,000 people have been able to access the water pumps that they have in 3 African countries. And the last one I think is the most significant, which is that 98% of their pumps are working. Simply by using internet technology to say, okay, is this pump working or not, and allowing people to pay a little bit has kept those pumps working in a way that government installed or pumps that were installed by NGOs are not. But this is an interesting story because it gets back to our original problem of how you apply science effectively and the other influences that can interfere. So in Gambia, which is one of the countries that they are in, the local elections are coming up this spring, and one of the promises that the party in power has made is free water for everyone. And so they have actually gone in and now drilled wells in villages to compete with Ewater and have promised free water. So if you're in one of those villages, of course you are going to take advantage of free water. Why pay when it's there for free? But the concern obviously is that you're going back to the same system that you had before, which is that once those pumps break, once the elections are over, will the government be there? Will they have the money? Will they have the people to go fix the pumps that they installed for free? And now these folks who had consistent water will now have no water anymore and will have to go back to doing the same thing they did, which was hike to a water source. This is the challenge of applying science and data when you have these sort of competing influences and biases. And the beauty of technology is that it connects the people who are dealing with the problem directly to the solutions in a way that is sustainable. And when I say sustainable, I don't mean just as sort of a synonym for environmentally responsible. I mean sustainable as in it continues for the long term.